Shalom. I am Rabbi Nathan Davidovich, speaking to you on behalf of the webyeshiva.org. As you can see by the background, I'm not in Israel at the moment. I'm in New Bern, North Carolina, in the midst of a trip. And I want to talk to you today about Purim. This coming week, Wednesday night and Thursday, is Purim. Purim is an amazing holiday. And we're going to talk about the fact that Purim is really the holiday of Bitachon, the holiday where, as Jews, we learn the importance of trust in God in all situations. So what happened? The Purim story, everybody knows the Purim story. Way back many years ago in Persia, King Ahasuerus was having a feast. Some of the Jews who were taking part in that feast, it was the Jews there had fallen to a very low level because at that feast, Ahasuerus was using some of the vessels from the Holy Temple that had been destroyed, which Jews are certainly forbidden to imbibe in. They were involved in the drunkenness and so on. Fast forward, Ahasuerus kills his queen and looks for a new queen. The new queen he searches throughout the kingdom and he finds a Jewish girl, Esther, and marries Esther and brings Esther into the kingdom. Esther is the niece of Mordechai. Mordechai was a member of the great Sanhedrin, and when she was brought to the palace to be the king's one of the king's wives, she was told not to let her identity be known, not to let him know that she was Jewish. A little bit later, Mordechai overhears somebody plotting to kill the king, and he gets the message to Esther. And Esther then tells the king about it. They write it in their book, and they're going to reward Mordechai with that. Time passes, they don't reward him. A little bit later, the king's prime minister named Haman decided that he wants to kill all the Jews. He goes up to the king and he says, these people, they don't fit in, they don't follow our customs, and let's kill every one of them. And, man, woman, and child. And he selects a certain date, the date corresponding to the Hebrew date, the 14th of Adar, which is coming week. And he says, that's the day that we're going to do it. Well, the king says, that sounds like a great idea, and he gives him his ring and seals the decree. Mordechai hears about it, and he summons Esther, and Esther is told about what's happening, and he says, you got to do something. And Esther says, you can't just go into the king and talk to him. If you go in uninvited, he'll kill you. So Mordechai says, look, if you don't do it, salvation will come from another direction. And he says, maybe this is in fact why you were created. So as a result, she goes in, tells the king. Ultimately, the plot is revealed. The king then gives the Jews the ability to arm themselves and defend themselves, and they were successful in defeating Haman and his people. Haman then was killed. So the Jews celebrate it as a holiday. But throughout this whole book of the Purim story, the Megillah, which is called, there is not a mention of God anywhere in the Megillah. But yet, if you look at it in retrospect, every single thing that happened, even though seemingly isolated things, was basically the hand of God. The Netivot Shalom refers to Purim as the Chag HaBitachon, the festival of trust in God. And the Purim is similar in a way to Yom Kippur, because it's referred to in Hebrew as Yom Kippurim, a day like Yom Kippur. And he says the reason that this is such a great day is because Yom Kippur, those who return to God would be forgiven. But on Purim, everybody who simply holds out their hand wanting forgiveness is forgiven. And the Jews had fallen to a level when they were sitting at this feast and using the vessels of the Holy Temple that they really weren't worthy of forgiveness, but yet they were forgiven. The Netivot Shalom points out further that where it says in the Ten Commandments, Nochi Hashem Elokecha, he says there's two aspects. When he says, I am the Lord your God, he says the first thing, I am the Lord your God, means you have emunah, you have faith. You have faith in God. And then the fact that it's your God means this is the God that wrought miracles, brought you out of Egypt. And this is the God that can save you from any situation. The Berdichev Rabbi, the Rabbi of Berdichev, he says that the importance of Purim is that looking back at at Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, the decree is made as to what's going to happen. Yom Kippur, it's sealed, it's finally signed. But he says there's even extensions of that, so that the final decree really isn't signed until Purim, because on Purim, we know that all we have to do is ask God, and God will help us. Purim is the holiday that we can trust that Hashem will, in fact, do for us what we need done, not what we want done, but what we need. Hashem knows our needs. When Esther said, after Mordechai's pleading with her to go to the king, she says, okay. She says, she said, "Kasher avadti." So if I'm killed as a result of this, I'm fine. I'll be killed. So she wasn't saying this as saying that I'm giving up hope. But the Netivot Shalom says that she went with great joy. She was willing to give up her life to be able to save the Jewish people. And how did she acquire that willingness to do that? Because of her bitachon, because of her trust that God will do the right thing. When Mordechai said, if you don't do it, it's going to happen anyway from somewhere else. He wasn't just saying, well, this is a possibility. He was speaking out of bitachon, out of trust in God. We can take this message today to learn how we ourselves, as we go through whatever the turmoil is around us, whether it's individual turmoil, community turmoil, national, international turmoil, we can go through that and we can hold on to this bitachon, this trust, this knowledge that God will do for us that which He wants. We understand that Tov Hashem lakol, God is good to all. And if we only hold on to that concept and feel it inside of our bones, have that bitachon, as the Netivot Shalom says, and I've repeated it many times, you have three levels of bitachon and emunah. You have an intellectual belief in God. You have an emotional one, the emunah shebalev, and ultimately the best is where your whole body, emunah shebe'evorim, your whole body emanates the belief, the knowledge and the trust in God that God will be there in any situation to help you. Purim is a very happy day. We celebrate with a feast. We give out gifts, shalach manos, and we have a little l'chaim. I wish everybody a very happy Purim, as we say in Yiddish, a freilige Purim. Enjoy it. I won't be, God willing, won't be giving a shir next week because of Purim, but look forward to talking to you the following week, from Denver. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom and Purim Sameach.